All right. I had to open up a second one. Are you guys there? The curse of YouTube might be striking me now. You guys hear me all right? The chef is broken. Can you guys hear me? It says I'm live. All right, there you are. Just somebody tell me I'm live, for Christ's sakes. Jesus. The first one shut off on me. It lost my connection, wouldn't bring it back. All right, cool. Yeah, that was weird. It wouldn't reconnect. I tried to reconnect, so I just shut it down, open up a new one. Nope, can't hear you, gizzard, you son of a bitch, gizzard. All right, so here's what I want to do. Ever since, you know, I sent my story in to Matt over at neverenuffammo, I've always wanted it tagged together or put together. So I figured the other day was Friday the 13th. We got Halloween coming up. It's a perfect time to do my horror story. So I just wanted to come on, do that. I'm going to read through the whole thing. If you guys have any comments, I might or might not see them. We'll see what happens. And then when we get through it, I mean, it's a 6-parter, so it might take us a little while, but that's okay. I got time to kill, right? If you we can do question and answer at the end of it. And we'll just let it rip. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes here, 2 or 3 minutes, to see if anybody else shows up, because we had that snafu. There's only, what, 5 of you here now. And so we'll give it 2 or 3 minutes and see what happens. Am I giving birth or telling a story? Professional writers maybe say that their stories are their babies, John. Alright. So who do we have? See, I have it on landscape mode now this time, like Ghost was doing, and it still disappears. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. No, Clover Tack, it's not going to be erotica. Although, Clover, did you hear this story at all? No, it doesn't have to be on landscape. I wasn't on landscape last time. John's eating broccoli. That's a bummer. It's not a bummer if you do it right. Actually, broccoli's pretty good. I can't talk too much shit about broccoli. The Reaper has the band hammer. The band hammer. Yeah, you better watch it. Clover, did you hear the story yet? Excuse me. No, bro. I will do it however I want to do it, bro. It's all right. All right, I'll get Grim after you, man. So Grim is now dancing ladies band. I don't know. He might have lost it. He might have finally slipped a gasket. All right, what do we got out there? 9 people? Oh, let's see if we can get up to 12. Clover Tack says RL, other Travis is going to read us a Harlequin romance novel. It's possible. It's possible. That's sexy, RL, right? Getting over this cold. Could be the worst possible night ever to read. To read you guys a story. A little bedtime story. I guarantee it won't be as exciting as Clover Tack's lawn chair pops or anything. Am I gonna rap like Eminem? No, I'm not gonna rap like Eminem. I don't see that happening anytime soon. No, Hemi. Every other Travis is always gonna be Travis, or I'm sorry, Travis P11 will always be Travis. I'll be other Travis forever. Betty Crocker and Uncle Ben. That's a match made in heaven. He unless Travis P11 leaves YouTube, I'm a goner. I'll be Travis, other Travis forever. But then there's other Travis and other Travis too. There's a bunch of us floating around there. They keep popping up out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm the redheaded stepchild. And what are you gonna do? There's 10. We're up to 10. Did I say 10 or 12? I said 12, I think. Yeah, the author formerly known as Travis. Yep. Yeah, I had to ditch my... It's like Prince. I had to ditch my name. Save me from copyright infringement. 10, 10, 10. 2 more people. Get 2 more people in this bitch. All right, I won't wait for 2 more people. We'll start it here in a minute. Gary, give out some free gizzards. Yeah. The symbol. Oh yeah, little hearts. Oh, little hearts. Yeah, I'm in our little guest bedroom here. Why are there so many gay Travises? I guess just good luck. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of Travises in San Francisco, and we all just kind of flutter out. Who knows? Look like Gary was cooking eggs. Are you cooking eggs there, Gary? Or is that supposed to be gizzards? I can't see. Yeah, I'm always kicked out of the bed. Yeah, you know me. It's a travesty. There's a place in Currituck with an awesome plate of gizzards. Just one plate of gizzards. That's all they have. I mean, they only had 1 plate to give out. Clovertack wants me to stop talking about food. This is the place. You're in the wrong place, brother. You're in the wrong place. If anybody's going to start food chat bullshit, this is where they're going to do it. That's why they come. 12 people. All right, we got 12 people. Who are the last 2? Who are the last couple? I don't know. So, good gizzards. Food or get the fuck out. Yeah, John's giving away his broccoli. All right. So, I'd start a little bit late tonight. We're actually watching some Game of Thrones. We're almost towards the end of it. So, we just started the 5th season, I think. 5th season? Yeah. So we wanted to finish that off. It just kept running a little bit long on us. So, we'll start the story. Okay? So, it all started with Rock Humper's story. We all know and love Rock Humper. He did the first Shit Hit the Fan story time. And, you know, when that was over, everybody sort of was left, I think, leaving, you know, wanted a little bit more. Left wanting more. So I decided to write one. And when I wrote it, it was just intended to be, you know, not all that long, just kind of funny and quick, whatever. You know, hey, Jorge, George, what's up, buddy? And it just started going and going and going and kept going. So I ended up with 6 parts. I'm going to try and read all of them. And here we go. All right. So the first part, the story itself is called The Curse of Camp Poco Jibbly. All right. It starts. He just couldn't take it anymore. The jokes, the nicknames, the disrespect. After signing out from his hit or miss podcast, Night Strike started packing up his belongings. He took all the essentials, water, snacks, and his favorite blue dress. Feeling the enormous strain of the bullying, he had amazingly even left all of his guns and ammo. He was going to start new, and wanted no reminders of the life of pain he was leaving behind. He left only a note, spelled out in the bullet holes in the side of the gang's AMC Scrambler from their earlier adventures. The note said eloquently, "Eat me, fuckfaces, I'm out." It was simple, straight, and to the point. We all understood, and it hit us. Wow. We took it too far. He went to a place he knew from his childhood, a summer camp, where he and others like him could play and frolic in peace. It was deserted, run down, and been abandoned for years. It was perfect for Night Strike to be alone and rebuild his shattered life. Camp Hoopajoop would be his new home. The Never Enough Ammo bunch, feeling guilty about how hard they were on Night Strike, piled into the scrambler to bring them home. But after their latest adventure, in the irradiated wastelands fighting the SJWs, the scrambler looked like Sheriff Buford T. Justice's police car at the end of Smoking the Bandit. Not to mention the car's bullet-ridden profanity in its quarter panel. The scrambler was most definitely out of commission. The gang, comprised of CJ Sprinkles, John Z, Mel the Nut, Benevolent Burrito, Caleb, Travis P11, and AC97, all looked to their leader for guidance, and guidance they got. NEA screams, "To the bourbon!" G-Webs, Carlos, 04 Hemi, I carry my revolver in single action, and steadily piled onto the roof of the Suburban. It was quite a posse, to say the least. But it was the best YouTube had to offer, which in itself is depressing at best. MidnightRangeTM, a.k.a. Travis M. That's me. Begrudgingly stayed behind in case Jonas, Night Strike, returned home. He had to finish proofreading Night Strike's memoirs that he had been writing before his emotional disappearance. It was entitled Yet Another Stain, the disappointing story of my new blue dress. The gang aggressively logs into their individual YouTube accounts to chronicle their adventures, and NEA fires up the bourbon. Let's go, guys. We're bringing our boy home. Because he can't help himself, as soon as Travis P11 was done reviewing everything inside the bourbon. With a puff of black smoke, the overloaded Chevy pulled away, with all of its heroes aboard. Unfortunately, MidnightRangeTM could only watch as they vanished slowly into the hazy distance, but someday, he knew, he would prove himself to be worthy. There's no tree people. Sorry, not in this one. This was before tree people. Part 2, the adventure begins. As time slowly passes, NEA and his gang of YouTube misfits comb the countryside for the missing Night Strike. But no trace of the beloved hit-or-miss host could be found. Their hopes were fading as they pulled into yet another gas station to refuel, as they had done so many times before. They've been burning gas faster than NEA can burn a fried bologna sandwich. With all these miscreants piled aboard the bourbon, the Chevy's getting about 3 gallons to the mile, and unfortunately, there were no essentials to ditch to lighten the load. It did fare slightly better after John Z suggested maybe a vehicle more efficient would be better than NEA's War Wagon. More gas efficient, yeah. A Prius or Neon Leaf, perhaps. 04 Hemming grumbled to the others, "I think we just found a non-essential." As the boys drove away, after topping off the War Wagon's tank and stuffing John Z's head up his own ass, John could hear Hemi's muffled voice fading into the distance. "Fuck Springfield, fuck Rock River, and fuck you!" As they pulled away from the gas station and John's self-colonoscopy, the boys saw a faded sign that read, "Camp Hoopajoop, next right." G-Webs yelled, "Turn right. I think I know where he is." NEA, forgetting how top-heavy the bourbon was, with the boys on the roof, pulled the wheel sharply to the right. The War Wagon could hardly take the turn, got up on 2 wheels, and dumped yet another passenger off the roof, doing a monkey roll into the weeds. NEA screamed, "Who was that?" G-Webs exclaimed, "CJ Sprinkles." "Oh," said NEA. "Fuck him. Ever since he changed his name from Bearcat, that guy really pissed me off." Defeated and knowing his adventures was over, CJ went back to his farm where he unsuccessfully attempting to grow donuts by planting sprinkles and watering them with the tears of snowflake SJWs. About 5 miles off the highway, the boys approached a sign hung over the road that at one time read Camp Hoopajoop. Except now someone had scratched out the name, and it now read Camp Poco Jibbly. Hope filled the weary adventurers as they knew he had to be here. Calling into the night for Night Strike, there was no success. and as night approached, I carry my revolver in single action, being a scared of the dark, suggested they should wait till morning to search more. He decided against staying and quickly Ubered out of there. NEA deployed his emergency inflatable mattress he kept in the war wagon for impromptu baby making, dusted off the dried man gravy flakes, and told the boys to pile on and get some rest. After Travis P11 did a quick review of the mattress, that's what they did. Sleeping soundly after stacking themselves on, knowing Travis had given the air mattress his seal of approval, as he had done with thousands of other random things on the voyage so far. Not being smart enough to bring Midnight Range TM to cook, the boys looked to NEA for a meal, and there was only one thing that could settle the bellies of these fierce warriors. In the morning, after a night filled with bitching, whining, and fried bologna farts, the crew arose. They abandoned the bourbon to search the grounds, and on Caleb's dumbass suggestion, this time they split up. We'll cover more ground this way. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. Those words would come to haunt the boys in the day to come. As the crew left the bourbon, they heard a faint crunching sound and spun around startled. Unfortunately, it was the war wagon rolling backwards into Lake Hoopajoop. It was gone, along with their supplies, their backup guns, and Travis P11's notes for the 47,000 things he had yet to do video reviews on. They were devastated. Yet, they knew they had to push on for their friend Nightstrike. Just then, the guys caught a flash of a shadowy figure in the distance, but vanished quickly into the brush. Could it be? They separated and began their search of the property. AC-97 took to the abandoned cabins to check for Nightstrike. With no power, the cabins were blacker than the AR-15s at the bottom of Lake Hoopajoop. He wished he had never cured the glow he had from their previous adventure. He could use the illumination right about now. It turns out he was only glowing because of a gluten intolerance. Go figure. As he crept his way into the darkness, AC-97 felt a chilling breath on his back. He spun around, pulling his 9mm and shoots. But the anemic 9mm has no effect. What? I was wrong. God damn, should have got a 40. The shadowy figure grabs AC-97 in one snappy movement. He's skinned, flipped inside out, and worn by the killer as a now gluten-free meat suit. 04 Hemi found himself in the playground of the camp. As he searched, he mumbled to himself, fuck Springfield, fuck Rock River, fuck that swing set, fuck Feinstein, fuck Caltech, fuck that sliding board. He was especially grumbly today. His fried bologna was really kicking in now. He found a set of restrooms, and as he sat down to blow a deuce, he heard something. A faint dripping sound. He had no idea the killer was just outside the door, and the sound he heard was that of AC-97's blood dripping off his newly acquired meat suit. The door flew open, and the swirly that ensued was the most vicious that had ever been dealt out. So vicious, it was deadly. Yet another of our heroes was gone. To be continued. Part 3. RC Crunch. John says, "Wait, hold on. Is my head still up my ass, or did it No, John, you're done. You're gone. We needed to lighten the load, brother. I'm sorry." Yes. R.I.P. Hemi. He was a good man. Sorry, John. I mean, you got to get rid of the dead weight. You don't even have any guns. You're from New York. What are you there for? Moral support? Sorry, bro. Jeez. RC Crunch, Part 3. As the mid-morning arrives, Steadley and Caleb, both having the same thoughts of breakfast after hearing their own rumbling bellies, run into one another at the old dining hall. Steadley had been checking mousetraps for cheesy nummies as he happened upon Caleb chewing on an old crusty boot he found in the dining hall's dilapidated bathroom. "It kind of tastes like steak," he mumbled as he gnaws away. You would think these fucking guys hadn't eaten in weeks, but actually they hadn't really even missed a meal. But hey, everyone has a different set of priorities, right? Being the true culinarians of the group, they put their treats together and, with a moment of true pride, created their masterpiece. Cheesesteak. It was the most god-awful representation of food ever concocted. An old boot with some old moldy cheese scrapings on it, and it was right up there with coconut on a damn donut. They were so enthralled with their masterpiece, they hadn't heard the hall's creaking, rusty hinges as the killer crept into the room. But as he neared the two chefs, a squeaky floor gave up his presence. The two jumped up, turned to face the imposing monster. His AC-97 meat suit now drying like jerky on his hulking frame, brown and red with only a sliver of delicate blue fabric peeking out from underneath. Neither man had weapons within reach, so steadily resorted to the first thing he could think of. He began to compliment the monster, as Caleb affixed a note for help to his RC truck and hoped someone would rescue him. Hey, there, guy. That's a sweet suit. You know where I could pick one up? The killer looks down at the bloody hide he is wearing and flips over the skin. A tattoo reading 9mm Master Race is seen, and the boys knew that AC-97 was gone, and they were both super fucked. The tattoo scared the shit out of Caleb, literally. The huge thud could be heard as it hit the floor. It was the Model 27 44 Magnum Caleb had been anally carrying the entire trip. He was a fan of super deep concealment and power over capacity, so it made pretty good sense. He picked up the massive stinking piece of steel and, like a low-budget John Wick, he aimed at the killer's head and click. Oh, nothing. The cylinder had opened during the trip, and the rounds must have fallen out, and along with some of the other stuff he found along the way were still inside. "Nice job, Dirty Harry," Steadley screamed. The massive revolver was snatched from his hands and used to beat Caleb into a mushy pile on the floor of the dining hall. The killer picked up the stalled RC truck and looked towards Steadley. Hey, buddy pal. Nice job turning Caleb into a pile of meat goo. I couldn't have done it better myself. But I gotta get moving. Big plans today. Cheaper Than Dirt's having a sale. This short statement alone infuriated the killer uncontrollably. With one powerful move, the truck was shoved up Steadley's ass. Sideways, of course. My butthole! Crunch. Actually, the killer was pretty proud of this one. He knew originality is highly regarded in the circle of serial killers, and this would go down in history. As the killer left the hall, he heard the sound of splashing. It was Benevolent Burrito and Mel the Nut on the dock overhanging the lake. They were trying to devise a plan to get the bourbon out of the water. As they argued about how to get the job done, the grim figure watched their every move from the shadows of the thick tree line. Just then, as the two looked deep into each other's eyes, the lake, the killer made his move. Continuing to strive for originality, Burrito was grabbed and dragged into the tree line and mercilessly beaten into oblivion with his own shoe. The killer thought, "Oh man, I'm the shit. This one's going to go down in the record books." Mel, not noticing Burrito was gone, continued to push his ideas on how to raise the bourbon. "All right, let's give a Sasquatch a Four Loko and a Red Bull, and he can pull it up out of the lake." Unbelievably, it was actually the best idea they'd come up with. Yeah, it was a real brainstorming session for sure. By the time Mel saw Burrito was gone, it was too late. The killer had a hold of him, but Burrito, not being one to go out and fight, summoned all the strength he had and pushed away, drew his .45 and squeezed the trigger. But in a most unfortunate turn of events, the .45 AARP was so slow-moving, the killer could actually see the bullet coming out of the barrel and simply stepped out of the way. Burrito knew he was in trouble, but had no idea how much trouble he was in. The killer donkey punched Burrito so hard he fell into unconsciousness. I almost thought that was a typo. I forgot that I did have that in there. He fell into unconsciousness, waking nearly a week later inside a dark, cramped box. As Burrito tried to force his way out of the box, he caught a glimpse of a huge white letters on a hillside through a tear in the side of the box. Hollywood, it said. Burrito had been shipped to California, a place where no Second Amendment warrior could stand to live. He thought to himself, I'm as good as dead. He had lost his will to live. Number 4, or part 4, donuts and cards. By midday, Night Strike had still not been found, but the men valiantly pushed on. Carlos began searching the rundown snack shack bar area by the pool. When he came across a station set up for coffee and snack service, and he thought, now would be a great time for something to shove in my pie hole. As he turned the rusty faucet on, the old pipe spit out a noxious brown liquid that Carlos used to make a lumpy cup of gut-wrenching coffee. His obsession with dippin'-style donuts overtook him as he reached into his shorts and pulled out his Long John. If you don't know what a Long John is, you're pretty lucky. It's a donut that gets overcooked on purpose, and nobody ever cares enough about to make delicious in any useful way. As the killer peered through a crack in the snack bar wall, the sheer blue fabric under his meat suit rippled in the wind. He grew perplexed and filled with pure hate. The kind of hate you feel when someone eats a donut from the bottom of the pastry food chain. Who the hell would want that thing? This guy's got to go. The attack was the most vicious yet. He would be talked about for generations to come. The sadistic killer, with total disregard to Carlos's well-being, forced him to eat the Long John without dunking it. It was one of the most grisly scenes in history. His eyes red and bulging, like he had seen Dianne Feinstein nude stepping out of the shower, dripping with her gun-hate liberalism. The human body just can't survive an attack as demonic as this. It sadly was the last Long John Carlos would ever have slipped into his mouth. Just then, G-Webs burst through the wall and into the snack shack. Although he doesn't disagree with the whole shitty Long John thing, he's determined to stop this killer once and for all. Even without a firearm, G-Webs, being the mountainous, rugged son of a bitch he is, lunges at the fierce adversary standing in front of him. The two scrap violently back and forth in the shack like Trump would with damn near anybody who has the balls to question him on Twitter. The killer stumbles after G-Webs lays one of his famous sprinkle-laden bitch slaps across the face of G-Webs. I lost his face, sorry. And G-Webs reaches into his bag. Oh, I'm sorry. Sprinkle-laden bitch slaps across his face. And G-Web knows the time to strike is now. He summons up the power of his longtime superhero mentor and readies himself. G-Webs reaches into his bag, steadies himself, and pulls out his gun channel's playing cards. Like Gambit, he begins to fire cards one after another at the monstrous killer. He gives it all he has, but his limpy wrists quickly weaken. After a dozen or so throws, he realizes the killer is unbelievably having no trouble taking the abuse. Honestly, he really isn't even flinching or anything. It's kind of sad. G-Web stops to regroup his attack. He's got to give it all he's got. But just at that moment, he's grabbed, his mouth stuffed with the remaining player cards, and given a pile driver off the dirty snack shack counter. The devastating maneuver left G-Webs dead and a full 6 inches shorter. We have yet another victim of the curse of Camp Poco Jibbly. Get a drink here. This is a dumb story. John says, once I get my head out of my ass, I'm going to have super hearing in sight, then I'm going to find a bunch of assholes who want my moral support. You need a cape. All right, where are we at here? Number 5. Yeah, he forgot to charge the cards. Well, I mean, you know, he's not the superhero. It's just his boy. Whatever. So, part 5, a second monster. Sorry, guys. The episode opens with NEA walking through the brush on an old trail road thick with overgrowth. You got 12. He comes upon a rock pile on the side of the road. NEA thinks to himself, I know we've been talking about donuts a lot lately, but god damn, these rocks look like they have a donut glaze on them. He reluctantly gets down to one knee and licks the rock. Tastes like it too. Although he's confused about the sweet lager's presence on the rocks, he decides to push on. He needs to find his compatriot Nightstrike. After a few short steps, NEA hears a familiar rumbling. What the sprinkles? How could it be? It's the Scrambler, being piloted by Rockhumper himself. He was late to the search party, leaving. He was late to the search parties. He was late to the search parties leaving due to his new job, and of course, the impatient shithead crew that left without him. After discussing the situation with MidnightRangeTM, Rockhumper hopped into the dilapidated Scrambler and floored it, tearing out onto the road. Knowing the Scrambler could track the war wagon with GPS and radar, he followed the creeps, the beeps, and the sweeps straight into Camp Hoopajoop. As Rockhumper barreled down the dirt trail, he saw NEA flagging him down. He locked up the brakes and hopped out. They embraced. A solid, man-love embrace. You know, like in a Lifetime movie. As Rockhumper looks at the landmarks around the Scrambler, he says, "Oh, I've been here before. This is my favorite place to come hump rocks." Yeah, right over there. Pointing in the direction of the rocks NEA had been licking. Holy balls, NEA thought. It wasn't donut glaze after all. It truly was a defining moment in his life. NEA tells Rockhumper to get his rock fucking ass back into the Scrambler so he can drive the trails and hopefully find Nightstrike. As Rockhumper floored the pedal, something gave way. The Scrambler lurched forward, and with a loud bang from the rear end and a wheeze from the engine, the car lost control and kaboom! It had punctured its gas tank on one of NEA's favorite licking rocks and exploded, throwing chunks of Rockhumper everywhere, raining down on NEA like when they used to use dynamite to blow up a beach whale. It truly was raining men on NEA, but unfortunately it was not how he preferred. The explosion caught the attention of the killer. He rushes to NEA and they square up to one another. The killer was wielding one of Rockhumper's femur bones like a sword, reminiscent of King Arthur with Excalibur, and motions for NEA to bring it on. NEA reaches into the scabbard on his back and brings forth his Maverick 88. "Say hello to my boomstick." But before he could get the barrel on point, the killer throws Rockhumper's femur, impaling NEA's hand, causing him to drop the 12 gauge and knocking him to the ground. I guess he should have just pulled the shotgun and fired, as he said the quote, but NEA was pushing the theatrics, you know. From the woods comes Travis P11. He's totally forgotten by now that he was even supposed to be looking for Nightstrike. He's been reviewing everything he comes across, walking around the woods, mumbling to himself and pointlessly doing reviews on sticks and leaves, piles of rocks, and even his own shoelaces. He notices the trouble NEA's in, and as soon as he's done giving his shoelaces 5 solid stars, he rushes to save him. He pulls out his sky, points it to the killer, and, of course, it fires? Wait, what? Wait. Okay. Unfortunately, Travis P11, showing some poor trigger control, pulled it to the right and missed completely. But Travis P11 is a smart guy. He knew his luck had run out with the sky. I mean, one shot in a row is a Sky record, of course. So he threw the pistol as hard as he could at the killer, who, in turn, caught it and buried it in Travis P11's forehead, killing him instantly. Bummer. Should have went with the pointy stick, buddy. As NEA picked himself up off the ground, he thought his nose deceived him. How the hell do I smell fried chicken? Then, a second monstrous shadowy figure appears from behind the killer. Holy fuckstick, it was the Yankee Marshal. His neckbeard, still glistening from the greasy KFC he was out binging on in between making his rambling, holier-than-thou videos. I'm the Yankee Marshal. It sounded reminiscent of Fessick pretending to be the dread Pirate Roberts in The Princess Bride. But anyway, the impromptu fried chicken binge was due to a run-in he just had with a werewolf, which left him inconsolably depressed. In a Murphy's Law moment, he found out his silver bullet was in fact totally ineffective, due to the fact that it never took the initiative to even check if the round was actually live. Unfortunately, it turned out it was for display purposes only. No powder, no primer, and no boom. But thankfully, Yankee could resort to a skill he learned in college that got him out of trouble, made him a little extra cash, and also helped majorly boost his GPA. He dropped down to his knees, giving the beast a handy, and slipped away as it slept. It left Yankee safe and satisfied. Should say wanky, right? This was before wanky. He drew on the killer, but once before he neglected to fully extricate the revolver from his holster and blew a pretty nice sized chunk out of his foot. He screams, winces in pain, and falls to the ground, his foot oozing blood and waking the slumbering werewolf. The gruesome beast leaps upon Marshall and slashes at him with his razor-sharp talons. It was such an aggressive assault, there was no hope for the self-proclaimed #1 internet gun expert. Yankee looked like a pile of ground beef when the beast was done with him. It was pretty amazing to see, actually. With the attack over, the monster casually relieved himself on the shredded Yankee Marshal and strolled away. It was, in fact, the first documented man-werewolf domestic violence case in history. The killer mumbles under his breath, "Wow. Damn. Well, okay, there you go." And turns his attention back to the shaken NEA. There seems to be no hope for the gang's leader. Alright. Hey, back up to 12 people. Awesome. The final chapter. Get a water. Part 6, the final chapter. NEA's in trouble, and so is Matt. He was face to face with the Fiend. Fight or flight was not an option, and NEA knew he was going to have to throw down with the killer. Our hero set the tone. "I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum." Unfortunately, right around the word kick, the killer pounded his bloody fist into NEA's mouth. Honestly, NEA really needs to forego the theatrics during fights. He keeps getting his ass beat, but I digress. NEA distracts the killer by spitting his busted teeth into his face and kicking him in the nuts, although it had little effect. It was almost like the killer had no testicles. The killer snaps NEA's head back with a brutal uppercut and kick to the chest. NEA scrambles to his feet, wheezing and bleeding, his heart aching from the kick, and retreats to one of the dark cabins. The killer slowly finds NEA down on one knee in a corner of the rundown cabin. He hasn't fared well from the beating dealt out by the monster. As dusk approached, NEA wonders if the sun is about to set on him as well. As the killer confidently swaggers towards the NEA, he rips off AC-97's now crusty skin, revealing the dirty, grizzled face of a murderer. The sight takes away what little breath NEA has left. The tattered blue dress that was revealed told the story of the killer. The crew's leader couldn't believe his own eyes. Sorry, wow. Jonas? Honestly, that was probably the last thing NEA should have said. Nightstrike flew into a blind, hate-filled rage. He seemed unstoppable. NEA stood with defiance and squared up once again against the berserker Nightstrike. But this time, the one to motion to begin, and Nightstrike was happy. NEA was the one to motion to begin, and Nightstrike was happy to oblige. The two men rumbled, giving it all they had, knowing they both could not survive. NEA had no idea the earlier kick to his chest had done so much damage until it was too late. His chest burning and aching, he began to feel the pain shoot down his arm. His injured heart couldn't take the fight. He was fading and fell to the floor. Nightstrike, seeing his opportunity to add insult to injury, walks up to the defeated NEA and begins to unzip his pants. I'm going to read that again because I yawned. Nightstrike, seeing his opportunity to add insult to injury, walks up to the defeated NEA and begins to unzip his pants. This could get pretty brutal, and NEA is powerless to ward off Nightstrike. As NEA fades, he hears a familiar sound. Ka-chick! It was the sound of an AK being charged, and he knew it was Hungarian. It was an AMD-65. Just as the realization hit, all hell broke loose. Boom! Boom, 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 boom! Fireballs from the darkness proved this AMD had the original 12.5-inch barrel. Even laying dying, NE thought to himself, nice. As NEA fades away, he at least has the satisfaction of seeing his 7.62s from MidnightRangeTM's rifle tearing through the killer's body. He had finished Nightstrike memoirs and come to help the search party. At first, seeing Nightstrike unzipping his pants in front of NEA, other Travis thought the two were having another one of their "it ain't gay if you high-five and say good game afterwards, bro" rendezvous. But catching a glimpse of AC-97's lifeless body quickly let MidnightRangeTM know what was happening. NEA was now dead, and as the bullets ripped through Nightstrike, he pulled a knife from his scabbard and threw it at the chest of MidnightRangeTM, piercing his heart. The two had pulled each other's tickets and laid bleeding until darkness came for them both. Nightstrike's final words being, "I said it before, I'll say it again. Eat me, fuck faces. I'm out." As darkness falls to black, a hand reaches in, yanking Matt out of the room by his goatee. And screams fill Matt's ears. "God damn it, Matt! What kind of fucked up bedtime story are you telling our children?" The swift hand of motherly justice comes down on the top of Matt's head. It's holding a world's greatest dad mug, but apparently not today. As she points her finger and yells, "Now get in there and fix it." He pokes his bleeding head into the terrified children's bedroom and says with a big smile, hey, just kidding. Night-night. Gotta go." He goes and sits in front of his computer with the chamomile tea that he always says is vodka, and with a deep sigh, he looks at who is chatting. Ugh, these assholes again. The real mystery of this whole story is why Matt would even add the part about the glazed rocks. That shit's gross. I don't know. Maybe he just likes the idea better than sprinkles. The end. The real mystery of the whole... thanks for the opportunity. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope you all enjoyed it. That's it. 14 people. Oh my God, we gained 2 people. I was talking. Who else is in here? Let's see. Oh, AC's here? AC's here. Yes, somebody did say I was saying AC-97. RL's here. TJ. Hey, TJ. Gizzard. We all know Gizzard's here. All the same guys. Other than AC. How's it going, AC? Clovertack says, wow. He said he's heard of the. I heard of it, but not at once. Yeah, it is kind of different when you hear it all at once again. That's actually a little quicker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would take me a little bit longer. I will say at the bottom of this too, I'll give you this kind of a little background story. The reason this whole my story time came about was Travis P11 did this review on this gas, two-stroke gas that he uses for his chainsaw called SHTF, and I don't know why, but it just like sparked something in me. You know, him doing a review on a chainsaw. It made me think about, you know, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something. And if you look that up, I left a comment under his story, almost or under his video, almost like a story. I'll read that too because it's kind of funny. So this is what I wrote, and then he said, "Wow, you should do story time." And then, hey, RL, you gave it a 4.8. What are you, nuts? This is good stuff. Ridiculous, but it's good. Say, Travis P11's SHTF two-stroke gas comment story. So he left this. This is my. I didn't preface it with anything. I just started writing this, and it turned out pretty funny. It said, "I know when I need my chainsaw to run, I need it to run. I was chasing these campers through the woods once. They were having hot, unprotected sex in an abandoned summer camp. Pfft, kids, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, mid-swing, my fucking chainsaw cuts out. I'm like, fuck sprinkles. Goddamn Harbor Freight. Always at the most inopportune times. Well, turns out I was using crappy gas. So after I cleaned the leftovers of these meddling kids from my machete, I headed my crusty ass straight to Wally World, and guess fucking what? That sumbitch fired right up after pouring in some SHTF. I'll tell you what, the body counts are rising at the summer camp this year, and I couldn't be happier. Thanks, Travis P11. So that dumbass little funny goofy comment out of my twisted brain is what got it all started. So there you go. Story time. Yeah, meddling kids. It's like Scooby-Doo. Very good, John. You New York guys, man, I'll tell you. All right. So that's story time. All done. That was fun. I like that. I really like that story. I'm super happy. I think it was cool. Yeah. AC wants to know, is the purpose of the stream reading stories? Yeah, actually it was. it was I wanted to read I wanted my story time all in one. All put together and not broken up in segments where you'd have to go to Matt's chat and look up 6 different chats and then, you know, fast forward and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to read my story and then we'll do a question and answer. I mean, from here on out, it's a free for all. You know, if you guys have any questions, you want to talk to anything about anything, you know, whatever, now's the time. So, you know, just bullshitting a little bit. Phoenix says he's killed off nobody in mine yet. Phoenix, yours is funny. Yours is good. You got to keep. Do you have another one? Do you have any more? You gave me part 1. We can do part 2. Or did you do a part 2? Why you want to kill off me first, CloverTack? It's not nice at all. Everything I've done for you. Always sticking up for you. Horrible. AC97 says, well, from what I've heard briefly, you're not a bad narrator. I appreciate that. Thank you. I am super tired, so a little hard, and I stumbled a little bit. I'm ready for bed myself already. Friendly payback for having me skinned. You were. Sorry, buddy. John Z says, when you adopt me, you can read me bedtime stories. This will be your first bedtime story, and then we'll do part 2 maybe. Grim says, CloverTack, you're gonna kill the cook first. I thought the cook was the hero. No, I didn't even get to go along to cook. You guys didn't want me to come along. I was kind of bummer, you know. Yeah. See, now you guys are thinking you need to keep me around. Just let me stay back at camp. hang out, do some prep, make something nice for everybody, and then need be, you come up and help out a little bit. John, are you saying you would rather be skinned and dead than having your head up your own ass? I guess I would rather be alive. Yeah, Emmy got a death swirly. Yeah, AC says he misses the shit hit the fan story. AC, Phoenix sent me part 1 of his story, and it's good. I like it. So you got to get on Phoenix. You got to harp on him a little bit to write another one, and once you get 1 or 2, then either we send them to Matt and Matt could read them, or I'd be happy to read them. I'd be honored to read somebody else's story on my show. That'd be great. I don't. I think Matt had a whole bunch of them. Clover says he thought Matt stopped reading. He kind of did, it seemed like. I'm not really sure. I think he stopped because he didn't have any being sent to him. And then he had a couple sent to him that he read, but I don't know that there's any second story or part 2s that came to him. I think he was waiting for him, and maybe they didn't show up. And now the move and everything like that. So, yeah. John says I need to do. They just opened up a lobby chat. Need to do a story of Camp Poco Jibbly versus Camp Hoopajoop. John, Camp Hoopajoop is Camp Poco Jibbly. I guess if you have your head in your ass, you're not paying attention. I don't know. Yes, Phoenix, the RC car was shoved off his ass sideways. I mean, that's just. I mean, that's the kind of writer I am. I really get your brain working. You see visuals. I mean, it goes in like a tunnel. That's meh, But you flip that sucker on its side and crunch, crackle, crunch. You're looking for. You mean business. When they split up, they became 2 camps. Wake up, chef. What the fuck are you talking about? Camp Hoopajoop was scratched out, and Camp Poco Jibbly was written there. You'll never look at a rock the same way again. Yeah, I don't know. I was really happy with the story. I thought it was pretty funny. I was lucky. I wrote 1 or 2 parts, and then would have probably never been able to finish the damn thing with my schedule, but we were able to go away to the beach with some family, and I wrote it down there and was sending it in. He got a bunch of them and then sent it in over the couple of weeks. So I don't know what the hell John is talking about. Are you drinking? There's always one more. You mean there's always one? Are you talking about one more part, like a part 7? I guess I could write a part 7. Let's see how this thing ended. Yeah, I mean, everybody's dead. Not everybody's dead. Who was it? Burrito's in California. John's got his head up his ass. CJ Sprinkles is farming, trying to grow donuts. Fuck NRA Fuds. Fuck Springfield Armory. Fuck Rock River Arms, says AC. Well, I'm sure you and Hemi can get together, because between the 2 of you, you've probably got about 10 people now. There's quite a few out there. Yeah. There's a couple of people missing that usually like the food. Land Run's not here. He usually has some food questions. John says we salute you back. Middle finger. Fuck NRA. Yeah, what a bummer. I'm apprehensively waiting to see what happens with the NRA. I really even don't. I honestly don't even want to talk about it. It's annoying, and I'm hoping they have some bigger plan. Best salad topping by Clover Tack. Oh, I don't know, bacon. Personally, I like raisins. I know Matt hates raisins. I like raisins. I like dates on salad. Those are really good. Sesame, not sesame seeds. Sunflower seeds are killer. Croutons, of course. Cheese, carrots. I'm not a huge raw tomato and raw tomato fan. I do like them, but not necessarily on salads. Yeah, bacon is the spice of life, says John. Bacon is the best of everything, says RL. You guys love bacon, man. Everybody loves bacon. Bacon is an awesome thing. But, I don't know. Those are good salad toppings. I'm trying to think what else would be good other than those. Nuts. You know, like, I make a real mean honey roasted walnut. Those are killer on salads. Almonds. Killer on salads. I don't know. It's kind of a weird, that's kind of an odd question from you. What kind of salad dressing do you like? Vinegar and all? I tried bacon strips when they first came out. Not what you think, LOL, says John. Bacon strips are for dogs, John. You know that, right? Are you just chopping them up and sprinkling them on your salad? Putting them on your burgers? Pizza? Pizza topping, maybe? Sorry. Yeah, I'm glad. Grim says, I'm glad you specified what nuts. Yes, I'm sure I got to do that with you guys. TJ says, I prefer cottage cheese versus salad dressings. I'm not a huge cottage cheese person on lettuce, but I love cottage cheese and apple butter. That's a good one. You guys are, I gotta scroll back up here. Phoenix says, how to make a salad. Add 1 pinch of rabbit food. Fill the entire rest of the bowl with bacon. Add dressing to taste. Yeah, that sounds okay. I can deal with that. RL says, the only sticker on my car says I love guns and bacon. I need to get one of those. That's a good way to go. I'm making AC hungry. Sorry, buddy. That's what I do. Clover's Hack says, my youngest grandbaby will go straight for the dog food when she comes over. You got to put it up. Corn nuts. D's nuts. Blue cheese. I do love blue cheese. Yeah, blue cheese is good. I make a mean dressing at the restaurant with pickled ginger and blue cheese. It's a great combination if you like pickled ginger. Cottage cheese on potato chips. I never had that. That's a different one. Blue cheese. Gah, says AC. John wants a bacon gun. That's the only gun you can have. You're from New York. And even that's probably... Your old man, Bloomberg, probably wouldn't even let you have a bacon gun. Friggin', they'd probably say it'd cause your cholesterol to go too high. If you got shot with a bacon gun, it wouldn't be allowed. Or there'd be like a crazy surtax on it or something. We wouldn't be able to afford it. I guess I should be doing this not in front of the camera, huh? Bacon is the food of the gods. Damn. Oh, that's a lot of middle fingers, John. Artificial bacon. You could get a tofu bacon gun or a turkey bacon gun, maybe. They would probably allow that. TJ says, where was it a... More middle fingers, John. Jeez. Whew. Yeah, it's limited to only 6 strips of bacon. Where was it a Pop-Tart gun that was a nano? TJ, I'm not sure what the hell you're talking about there. Are you sitting with John drinking? Bako gun. Yeah. Artificial bacon bits, real bacon. Whoa. Hold on now. Hemi, artificial bacon bits are greater than real bacon? Oh, Grim, you might have to drop the hammer on Hemi. I don't know. I might have to shut this stream down and go take a cold shower to calm myself down. That's brutal. Why would you say such a thing? Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, I think you're talking about a Pop-Tart, not a Pot-Tart. AC 97 wants the power. Yeah, John's all wound up. Bacon tits for the win. Yeah, John's all wound up. Real store-bought bacon bits. Are you Are you talking about real bacon that's like pre-cooked and chopped? Not Bacos, not like the fakin' bacon kind of weird soy, 75% soybean shit, huh? Oh man, Grim's warming up his hammer. You better watch it. All jacked up on Mountain Dew and broccoli, says Phoenix. Yeah. Yeah, alright. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I can get down on that. I can get down. Okay. I thought you were talking about like the little shaking... I shouldn't do that. Shaking things, you know? You put away the vodka. You sound Russian, John. Yeah, no fake bacon. That's no bueno. So we call them in the restaurant bad. That's bad for business. Fake bacon is bad for business. It's not good for the people. So what else? What do we got? Anything awesome going on in the news? Probably not. Probably a bunch of bullshit nobody wants to talk about. Pop-Tarts would suck. The more you eat, the hungrier you get. Oh, Pop-Tarts. Yeah, I would imagine. Pop-Tarts are good, though. You can't go wrong with Pop-Tarts. Hemi loves fake bacon bits on his baked potato. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hammer time. Yeah. Yes. Hemi, stop. Hammer time. What do we got? What do we got? Anything? Anything? Oh, real bacon on potato. Yeah, real bacon on potato. The coolest thing, what you got to do is you got to chop up that bacon and render it down, get it nice crunchy, and you just pour it with the bacon fat right over the baked potato, brother. Jesus. Phoenix says, I bet O4 Hemi uses the oily fake cheese too. Oh, you've got an I in that word. There should be no I in oily. I don't think that's a Clover thing. That way you don't pronounce it wrong. Yeah, cheddar cheese and potatoes is great. Bacon sprinkles on ice cream. Yeah, I'll go along with that. Absolutely not. I'm from Wisconsin. Real cheese or get the fuck out. Right. Cheese whiz. Cheese whiz. I'm not a huge fan of cheese whiz. I'd rather have... cheese whiz is pretty far down on the list, actually, as far as types of cheeses I like. I would take, like, melted Velveeta over that, I think. Hemi will let you pass since you're upset about Rogers. Yeah, I heard something about that. Cheese in a can. I always had it at camp when I was a kid. Yep. When we used to go to camp when I was young with my grandpa, there wasn't always a whole lot of stuff up there. So you left stuff up there that wasn't going to go bad, and it was peanut butter, saltines, some of that cheese in a can stuff, sardines. Oh man, like just horrible guy food kind of stuff. Peanut butter crackers, like packs of peanut butter crackers. Yeah. We always had a Chef Boyardee pizza box up there. Where you make it, all you do is add water and make it. Because it didn't go bad, like, you know what I mean? You didn't have to worry about it going bad in the cabinet. Gary had vegan cheese once. It was the nastiest thing he's ever had. There's some out there that's not bad. I've used one. It's called Daya. That's the brand. Excuse me. And I did it for a vegan. I had a vegan party one time, a lunch that they were doing, vegan lasagna, and I used that, and it was good. It actually melted pretty nice. It wasn't like super flavorful, but it was good. It had a good texture to it, and it didn't taste like grainy or weird, and it tasted okay. Potted meat, spam, deviled ham. Spam's not bad, Phoenix. John Z says, miracles does happen. Hemi says, Midnight, what are your feelings on Hot Pockets? I'm okay with Hot Pockets. I think it's got its place in the food world. I haven't had one in 20, I don't know, I'd say 20 years, but actually probably 15 years maybe it's been since I've had a Hot Pocket. Who knows? I mean, I imagine, I think, like I say, I think they've got their time. Everything has a time and a place. Vegans are subhuman like 40 fanboys. You better watch it. You better watch it, brothers. AC coming on here, causing trouble. Goddamn 9mm. Got you killed in the story. If you had a 40, you'd still be walking around. You'd have been the hero. Think about that. Stop. Hero time. You could put a cape on and everything. Oh, but anyway. So I think there's a time and a place for everything. Everybody talks shit about different kind of frozen stuff and quick stuff, and there's a time and a place, man. You're running on a road, you snag something, you know, gas station. I mean, we know Gary's thoughts on gas station food, but you know, I say ramen. Hemi says, is it ramen or ramen? Ramen. Yeah, no, ramen. Ramen. Canned tamales suck, but real authentic tamales are the bomb. Canned tamales? What the hell? No, not Romans, you fool. Ramen. What the hell is it? The hell is a canned tamale? I never saw a canned tamale. Like an open up canned tamale? Or are you talking about like the filling is from a can? Roman burgers. I don't know what the hell a Roman burger is. Hormel canned tamales. Never saw them. I just don't end up buying a whole lot of canned food anymore. We just don't use a whole lot of canned food. Tamales in a can. Like bread in a can. You ever see that weird stuff? Gary says they're right up there with ravioli. You mean in quality wise? Like Hemi says, are canned chickens as terrible as they seem? I don't know. I have no idea. I've never seen a canned chicken. I mean, I've seen canned chicken meat. Like, you buy tuna fish in a can. Yeah, no, canned ravioli sucks. I mean, again, there's a time and a place. Like, we used to take that stuff up to camp all the time because, you know, it's not going to go bad. So you'd eat it over, you know. John says he stopped with the canned food. There's so much, you know, pure poisons and shit in there. AC says he doesn't understand how he died in the story. He said it was just Jonas. Yeah, but he was like in berserker mode. It was like Bane, man. He was like pumped full of adrenaline and hatred. It can get you a long way in life. Hemi says he's seen him on Chopped, laughed his ass off, canned chicken. I've never seen it. Canned chicken chunks isn't bad. No, the canned chicken stuff isn't bad. They're like I said, if you're camping or you want to keep some in the cabinet, you know, you're going on a road trip or something like that, or on vacation or something, you just need like quick sandwiches or something one day, and I don't know. I mean, there's a time and a place for it, I guess. It's not bad. Nothing wrong with that. AC says, but on a serious note, I think Night Strike gets too much shit. I think he does catch a lot of shit. But I will say he starts a lot of shit too. I mean, he was busting my nuts the other day from, I wasn't even I was in the chat. He was on the panel and he was still busting my nuts. Giving me a hard time. So, you know, he brings it upon himself. He gets so damn wound up. It's hard not to keep it going. Once he gets wound up and all tuned up, yeah, shall not be infringed. Once he gets all tuned up and yelling and screaming, it's hard to not throw a little fuel in the fire, you know what I mean? Keep him going. Yeah, it is fun. Yo, hey, that's, John, you're right. You know, John loves a good nut busting. Unless you're talking about, like, sexually, I don't know. Maybe you like people squishing your nuggets, I don't know. But that's kind of what it's all about, man. That's one of the things that I like about all the guys that are involved with the chats and in the chats and on the panels and gun channels, like all the gun channels guys, is it really is just like like going to deer camp or something and just giving each other a hard time. Giving each other a hard time and having fun and not getting butthurt about it, you know. Yeah. But he brings it upon himself, I think. Somebody just said he was like a wind up toy. He is. He kind of you can kind of wind him up and let him go and watch him go all full Beavis. Somebody said that the other week. So somebody like he's going full Beavis, like just totally losing his shit. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. John says, I love you guys. We rag on each other, but we're still one group. No nerf herders, but hunters in here. Yeah, it's a good group of guys, man. Night Strike got shut the fuck down by Wanky. That was, hey, Too Hottie, what's hanging? How's it going? What's hanging? Psst, that's weird. That's a little uncomfortable, isn't it? How's it hanging? Yeah. When Yankee... that's what I said to, I forget who I said it to. It might have been on the chat. That might have been one of those weird, crazy chats that we were on with me and Ghost and Clover. I forget who else. Right after that happened. And for me, I was like, it was like Dirty Dancing, and Wanky just put Baby in the corner. It was pretty rough. I felt bad for him. No. 14. I think doing this earlier is a little better. It was a little late start tonight. I think we had like 20-something in last week. People give Yankee shit, but he is usually correct about his politics. I agree with him most of the time. I would guess be considered, you know, a little on the liberal side also. Excuse me. Grim says that's a good thing here when we bust each other's balls. It's not personal. No, usually. He says usually. Nah, not too much. John's balls are made for busting. That's just what we'll do. He said they are strong. He says, I hate that Ascons like Jaeger represents semi-auto fans. If he only was a Revolver fanboy. Yeah. I will say, you know, about myself, my opinion is my opinion, and I think some people push their opinion as gospel sometimes a little bit too much, and I don't like that. It turns me off. I know, you know, on Caliber Corner Saturday, which was a great episode, we got to talking about temperatures with cooking. And the professional in me and what people look at me as being a professional, and they you know, whatever I say should be the right answer no matter what. And that's just not always true. There's things that I'll say that you should do that are legal issues, and then there's some things that be like, well, you should cook this to 165, but am I going to do it? No, because I eat a steak medium rare, or I eat my burger mid rare. If you cook it the way you're supposed to, it's well done. So it's just not, just not how I roll. But you have to be careful. You have to be careful about the advice you give out. You don't want to give out advice as an expert in a field without, I think, not warning people, but Phoenix says, you forgot the finger quotes we use when we call you professional. Yeah, yeah. I see a lot of those finger quotes. Taurus judge is greater than 40. In what way? I think, I mean, I guess a 45 long is a better round than a 40, probably, if it's loaded right. Sure. I mean, I think the judge in theory is pretty awesome, but I'm not a big fan of him. I don't think it does anything more awesomer. We'll use that. More awesomer than much other. There's Sean Callahan. What's up? There's anything too awesome compared to the standard kind of 40 or 45 or something like that. I don't know. They're kind of cool, but I don't feel they're anything like. I would want one just to want one, but not not anything that I'm pining for. The Raging John Jets, the 454, the Castle. I know. I get it. You don't like the judge. I just saw it and started talking. I don't think it's a stupid idea. I think it's I think if you like, they talk about shorter rifles being ranch rifles. I think if you do own like a property, it's kind of a cool gun to carry. If you would be with varmints, snakes, possibly coyotes, something like that. If you would want something to carry on your hip, that would be a good one, because you could put buckshot in it. If he's buying a Judge, Phoenix says it's going to be a Pontiac. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. We're up to 17 now. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put it on gun channels in the lobby that I was doing this. I did that last week. Damn. CZ Master Race. Yeah. I like CZs. CZs are cool. I don't own one. Home Runner. Hey, guys. It says 9mm lives matter. Yes, they do. They do matter. They're just not as good as 40 lives. Everybody hates 40 now. It's cool to hate 40. I'll take it. I'll be the punching bag. Gary said he's owned 2 high points. They're not pretty. That's an understatement. But they both ran fine. Yeah. Your cat's stage name is now 9mm, says Phoenix. Yeah, I really like the CZ looks. I think they're a nice looking gun. I've heard nothing but good things about them. Price wise is good. There's a couple things on my radar. CZ's not at the top of the list, but I would definitely look at them. I shouldn't say I would just look at them. I would look at them seriously as one of an options if I'd wanted another, full size. Where are we at here? 80 minutes. Man, almost an hour and a half. 40 is just falling out of favor these days. Hopefully some of its popularity goes to 10 millimeter. Said AC. Hopefully it goes to 10 millimeter popularity. I don't know. I don't really get why it's falling off. I don't think it'll ever go away. 10 millimeter is nice. I would like to have one. That's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Be a fun gun to have. AC says, by the way, 40 can cycle 10 millimeter guns, at least Glock 20s. Yeah, Gary says he's seen a lot of 40 trade-in police trade-ins at this gun store. They don't move them very fast. Yeah, the trade-in thing. It's a little bit weird because I've been seeing a lot of police trade-ins, quote unquote, that aren't very good deals at all, which is really weird. It's almost like police trade-ins they kind of became cool. Like it became like something that people were really looking for, and they became sought after. And now the price of the trade-ins is not all that great. It's really weird. Yeah, a lot of 40s out there. Yeah, I wish there was a few more 40s for carry guns. There's a lot of nice 9s in carry. I looked at 27s, Glock 27s, but I don't like I'm not a big Glock fan. I don't like the grip angle. 135 grain 40 says Too Hottie. That's light. What would that be in? Phoenix says, I don't like the angle of the dangle. Yeah, it would take some getting used to, which I could obviously get. You can get used to anything. I just, if I was to go back and forth between guns, I don't like the different grip angle. It's a little bit weird. Phoenix says, just get a 1911 and call it a day. I do want a 1911. that is one of. I would like to have not a ton of guns. I don't need. I don't want to say I'd like a ton of guns, but I don't need a ton of guns. But I would like to have a pretty good variety, so that when my son grows up, I have a couple of examples of what's up, Smeg? A couple of examples of everything. Or I should say an example of everything. I'd like to have a lever gun. I got my pumps. You know, you got some bolt actions. You got a pistol, a revolver. Like to have a little bit of everything. Lever. Did I say lever or lever? I think I say both. I have a lever gun, a lever gun. I think I say. I know for a fact that I say both. Which is probably weird. I don't know. It is probably odd. Yeah, I said lever. When I think about it, I say lever, but when I'm actually talking and not thinking, I say lever sometimes. Weird. FNX 45. 15 plus 1. Yeah. Phoenix, I really do like. I don't own a 45, and if I would buy a 45, I think that's what I would get. I'd love to get the FNX 45 tack with the threaded barrel, and someday suppress it and keep it in the house for a house gun. Grim's hungry. He'll be right back. Sorry, Grim. I have that effect on people. AC says, life-size potato is so awesome. He converted a HK USP to shoot 10 millimeter. Wow. What was it when it started? A 40? I guess. Well, 40, I guess, right? People like the new S&P. I'm sorry, Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. Yeah, they're nice looking guns. They are nice. Aesthetically, I think they're good looking, and I don't know. I hear a lot of good things about them. I hear a lot of people that have bought the 2 because they liked it more than the original. Like they didn't love the original, but then when the 2s came out, I know 3 guys that have said that. So there's something about it. I mean, there's a lot of M&P stuff out there. I know Ghost carries an M&P. A lot of people carry the M&Ps. John wants a 22 Bravo 249. I have no idea what that is. Other than it's 22. Probably. Gary, I'm right with you. I really like the looks of the Rex Zero. It looks like a SIG. I mean, it just, to me, it's just a knockoff SIG. The catch, AC says the catch was, if it wasn't fired, it wouldn't eject from the ejection port. If it was fired, it probably meant if it was fired, and it would have to come out through the mag well. So you like single shot it, I guess. Phoenix says he'll never buy another Smith & Wesson unless it's a revolver. Not after that fucking Sigma. Well, I don't think they were known to be amazing. John can't own a sharp stick where he's at. Yeah, he probably can't. You know, I heard John sharpened a pencil one time and they kicked his door in. They said it was a concealed carry weapon. It was horrible. Oh, he says the unfired 10mm cartridge wouldn't go out because they would... Oh, yeah. Yeah, they'd be too large. Phoenix says the Sigma is so crappy. It's legal. It's legal in New York City. Yeah, it's not even considered a deadly weapon if it don't fire, right? You could probably carry Skies without a carry permit all over the United States. I just saw not a commercial, an ad for the Sky the other day. It was like all-time low price or new low price or lowest price ever, something like that. $159. I am supposed to. RL says, check out an online trader called Robertson's Trading Post. They have used SIG 220s and 229s for a couple hundred less than the racks. If I wasn't broke, I would. Poor John. Hashtag free John. I'm telling you, we got to get somebody with Super Chat to do it. I'm a lowly peasant as far as YouTube goes. I don't have Super Chat. And if we get somebody with Super Chat, get John out of New York. But John keeps flip-flopping around. He doesn't know who he wants to live with. He doesn't know who he wants to be adopted by. It's me, and then it's Ghost, and then it was Angry. He's all over the place. He's all over the place. John needs to make up which one of his dads he wants to go live with. And then you guys can do a fundraiser for him. He says, John says, I'm all yours, bitch. You asked for it, you got it. I'm gonna keep the fucking receipt. I'll send your ass back. They do layaway for us broke fucks too. He says, RL says. It's it's like me, Angry, and Ghost are like Steve Guttenberg, Ted Danson, and Tom Selleck, and John is the baby. 3 men and a baby. 3 men and a baby John Bloomberg. John's pounding his keyboard right now. Son of a bitch. Have I missed anything lately? I'm bullshitting here. Nope, just John. I'd rather have 3 dads and 3 moms, because all the hotties would come all over me. Wait a minute. I gotta read that. Hold on a second. Here we go. I'd rather have 3 dads than 3 moms, because all the hotties would... It's a weird way to say that, John. Oh, right, the chicks. Okay. Okay, John. John Circle Jerk Bloomberg. Here we go again. Yeah, John did say... Well, he didn't say he'll be my bitch. He called me a bitch and then said he's mine. Which is... That's weird, too. Like, you're going to insult me and then say, I'm yours. Hey, bitch, I'm your papa. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in his mind. He's been drinking too much. Eating too many lead paint chips up there in New York. John says, whatever, come pick me up. That's a long drive, man. I'm not making that shit tonight. Go to Angry's house. I'm telling you, Angry's not that far away. He's in like Scranton or Wilkes-Barre or something like that. Wilkes-Barre. You make it down to Angry's house, and then you head down this way. RL's up there too. Isn't RL up that way somewhere too? Is he Jon Snow, a bastard child from all 3? Yeah, Jon Snow. That's kind of perfect, actually. All right, if you don't want to be John Bloomberg anymore, you can be Jon Snow. Who wants to be roommates with a guy named Angry? You can call me Jon Snow. All right, there you go. Williamsport. Yeah, that's the same area. Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Williamsport. It's up there. Jon Snow. All right, we'll keep this open for a couple of minutes here. We're at 92 minutes. Keep it open for a couple of minutes here, and if nothing crazy exciting happens, we'll cut it off. Johnny Bag of Donuts. Big Petey, Little Petey, Regular Petey, Irregular Petey. Not my Steelers. Although there are a ton of Steelers fans around here. I'm not necessarily a big sports guy anymore. John says, I am a bag of donuts. I'm loads of fun. All right. I got to get some sleep. So why don't you guys tell me if you got anything else to talk about? If you want to bullshit about something in particular. If not, we'll shut it down. Not just a bag of glazed rocks. You're dumber than a bag of glazed rocks. There's a good slogan for you. Midnight Tea is all about the sports ball. Yeah, I have been... No, I'm not coming to pick you up tonight, John. God damn it. I am notorious for being smart-assy when it comes to sports. My wife has told me to shut up more than one time. Not that I don't like sports. I do like sports, but I just like giving... I like giving people that are like big sports junkies kind of a hard time. You know, and the guys that use the word "we" a lot. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys on there are "we" guys, like, or my you know, my team, or we did great on Sunday. She's going to yell at me tomorrow if she sees this anyway. She's like, you're an asshole. You're being an asshole on the internet again. I'm like, oh, sorry. Yeah. You know what, Phoenix? I used to work with a guy that used to say that all the time. He says, what, you got a mouse in your pocket? That was always a funny, I always thought that was such a funny little thing to say. He was a banquet manager. I always laughed. And he says, hey, and in a restaurant, well, any business, any job, you know, you get the we people. We like, hey, you know what? We really got to do this, which is them usually saying, you're gonna go do that, and I'm gonna watch. or no, it's Phoenix. Phoenix says, sorry, honey, I can't go to bed tonight. Someone is wrong on the internet. Yeah, a lot of wrong people on the internet. You got a mouse in your pocket? Oh, but anyway, the we thing, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, we did great last night. And I'm like, well, I didn't see you on the field at all. Geez, I didn't even. How the hell did you get across the country and back to come to work today? That was crazy. It's amazing. You red eye that son of a bitch back. But yeah, I'll say stuff like that, and she'll get mad at me. Like, it's all in good fun. Wee wee with your wee wee. Says TJ says, we, are you French? We did great last night. That's not what she said. Right, yeah. No, she didn't. No. That's like everybody always jokes about having threesomes. I'm like, geez, why would I want to disappoint two people? You know, hell. It's hard enough disappointing one person at a time, let alone two. No way. I feel bad about myself forever. That's not okay. Oh, I'm all out of drinks. Yeah, our anniversary was the other day too. Happy anniversary. Oh man, I just got the old 20%. I feel like Clover Tack. I forgot I unplugged it when it crapped out on me that first time. At least I don't live behind enemy lines like somebody. I think they're talking about you again, John. It's my 3 dads and my 1 son, John. Jon Snow. RL says threesomes would be great. The girls have something to talk about when I fall asleep. Yeah. They would just, yeah, plot my death, I'm sure. Be like, ugh, this loser. Kill him and dump his body. Good God. All right. We are coming down to the wire here. I'm almost out of juice. Caliber assholes. Lives matter, says AC. Callahan says, my old lady likes 10 inches and for it to hurt, so I fucked her twice and punched her. Only twice? But you're doing pretty good there, man. Good for you. 5. John says, I rub you wrong time. Hemi says, it's not a mouse in my pocket, it's a rhino. It's my 200 DS. Me and my buddy. My buddy. Alright, what do you think? I think we should cut it out here, guys. Go get a shower. I gotta feed the dogs. Get to bed. No, that's not a Glock in my pants. And no, I'm not happy to see you, AC. Sorry. So, alright, we're going to cut it out here. I will see you guys tomorrow, I guess, on Matt's chat. I'll be at work, so Probably won't be able to do anything but maybe bitch a little bit and listen. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Thanks for coming. Again, I'll throw it out there just because it's what I'm supposed to do. Check out the channel. Keep an eye on the notices for new videos. I'll hopefully have something coming up here pretty soon. I haven't done a whole lot because I've been so damn busy. But I was talking about it the other day on Caliber Corner about doing. I want to do a Thanksgiving video. Maybe do a turkey, mashed potato, gravy kind of thing. Just some easy stuff that you can do at home to make your Thanksgiving snacks a little bit better, And I am on Patreon. If you like the channel, if you want to help out, come and check me out on Patreon. There's $1, $2, whatever is super appreciated. It's really cool. And I appreciate all the guys, Gary, Smeggy, Travis, Ghost, and Cycle Camp right now are on Patreon helping me out. And I appreciate every one of you guys. I think it's awesome. For me to have 5 patrons is killer. I think that's great. John says, hire me so I can patron your ass. What? I'm going to hire you. Wait, I'm going to hire you to be a patron of mine? It doesn't make any damn sense, John. But I still love you, buddy. So yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in. I hope the channel keeps moving forward. I think I have 115 subs as of now. I keep chipping away at it. A couple here and there. I've got some stuff on VidMe too, but for now the YouTube, the live chats are filling in my time because I don't have a whole lot of kitchen time to devote to videos, so it's good. The live thing is really cool that I can do that, and having you guys coming in and asking questions is really awesome. Next week, try and do Sunday again. Next week is the first episode of The Walking Dead. That's at 9. So I'll probably try and shoot for 10:15 again. That might actually be kind of a cool time slot to have. So we'll see how that works out. If it turns out that it's not good for anybody and I end up with 1 or 2 people, then maybe we'll try and switch to something else. But for now, try and stick to Sunday evenings. Nobody else is doing anything. It's open, and I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I might hit Yankee up next week with an email and see if he can, if he minds spamming on the show a little bit, because he'll have that, and then that'll go into The Walking Dead, and then into me, which would be cool, because we all love The Walking Dead. And then we can talk about The Walking Dead on Monday too in Match Chat. I'm sure that'll be a huge part of the show. So until then, thanks guys. I appreciate you coming in, and hey, save up those questions and stuff, because next Sunday rolls around. I'd like to get good food chat going, having some questions, and help anybody out. Ask your wives, or boyfriends, John, if they have any questions, and bring them on. Have them with you there. So until then, I'll see you guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.